was keeping his true nature a secret from
This
her
is for
until she met
documentation
Harry.
purposes.
Joe Mistake
I
reunites
guess
with
this
his
is my last
granddaughter
night
and her lover Harry.
in this
Two
hotel.
up in Blaine, Katie's parents are searching for Joe while a changeling hunter and his father, the Biggs men, are in hot pursuit of changelings to kill. Grandpa Joe Mistake's stories, morals and parables.
My
A
last
love
night.
story in bloom.
I leave
Katie's
tomorrow,
grandmother Marcia Sapp.
April
Chapter 4,
21st,
Beckoning.
2026.
Katie's parents find Grandpa Joe at the residence.
I'm kind
They
of
also discovered
in a
Harry
mood.
Hazel Eyes and the growing baby bump on their daughter Katie.
When I had Taco
Grandpa Joe
Bell,
hosts the wedding ceremony and gathers Harry's family to unite under the growing threat to their existence as changelings. The Biggs men, Charles and Gregory Biggs, known as the Changeling Hunters, search for
this Taco
Grandpa
Bell just
Joe
wanted
and
my
his
first
family.
name and last name initial.
Chapter 5.
So that's why you see that.
Charles
I'm
Biggs,
supposed to be
a
drinking this
well-seasoned
milk
hunter and an ex-lover of Marcia Sapp, befriends
and
Joe
water.
Mistake. With his son closely taking notes on his father's friendship,
But yeah, this is where I've
much
been
as he
sleeping.
about the changelings within the Mistake, Sapp, Hopi,
For now,
Tahoe families,
tomorrow
and
I
more,
have no idea
and he
where.
collects as much data on them as he can. Meanwhile, a pregnant Katie
Anyway,
senses something off about the hunters as well as everyone else present. But the charade continues on. Mainly because everyone is aware that Charles Biggs killed Marcia Sapp and other changelings.
I'm listening to the story I'm creating. Changelings with hybrids.
Chapter 6, Reversals.
So I'm having it read back to me.
Families lets down their guard around the changeling hunters. For a while there were peace among...
Let me start from the beginning. Let's see. Yeah, start from here.
Changelings. Wolf hybrids. By Latonian Jasmine Dunso N. Latonian
Dunson, not Dosno N.
Como estan tus nalgas como esta tu alma, Latonian Jasmine.
They butchering this. Como están tus nalgas? Como está tu alma? Okay, by myself, Latonian Jasmine. This is what I got so far. I haven't really been in the mood to do much else other than this. Kind of like some healing medicine. Surprisingly, I didn't get any ice cream, and I didn't get any... What other vices besides ice cream do I have? I don't smoke, I don't drink alcohol. Especially since I started practicing Islam more strictly too. I don't do those things. So, I mean, I never smoked anyway, but I can't breathe. But I don't smoke bad. Yeah, so... Yeah. Villavalo. Can I be addicted to him? Him? I guess. I mean, I don't know. I still have my heartogram on my neck, along with my Shahada ring. So, they go in together. One person, or I guess a couple, said that they thought it was a Star of David. But I guess it may look like that if you don't see the top part. If you just see that part, they may be like, oh, that's the Star of David. But no, it's a heartogram. So I'm just going over, I've been making changes, a lot of changes, putting back, some Islamic guidelines into the story. As I'm going over it, there's still probably some things I have to take out because Islam, I'm like, yeah, no. But, I really won't know what those things are until, I thoroughly complete the story. But two, if my characters aren't Muslim characters, then I kind of feel like I can get away with certain things, but at the same time, I have to make sure I'm not promoting anything that Islam would be against, like I would do in the past with some of my stories. Yeah, so this one I'm really been cleaning up, so I guess let's start where About the author? So about myself?
About the author. Latonian Jasmine Dunson, or Latonian Dunson first and last name, is a native-born Delawarean. She has written a very diverse set of stories. As a storyteller, she hopes to bring awareness to her observations of life. Latonian is a Muslim woman and have been doing her best to practice her faith the right way after a decade of experiences and asking for past sins to be forgiven. Latonian's writings have not always reflected her Islamic beliefs, and she now recognizes the importance of bringing it with her in all of her affairs, including her fiction writings. After a trade high school, Polytech, Latonian attended an HBCU, DSU or Delaware State University, and U of D or the University of Delaware. She minored in Islamic studies with the Arabic language, and majored in art. She was raised upon Changeling's mascots from school to the workplace. Polytech had the Panthers. Delaware State University had the Hornets. The University of Delaware had the Blue Hen. Amazon Fulfillment Centers had the Wolf at PHL 7 and the Dragon at MTN 1. After resigning from Amazon, she had no other job requiring her to
My phone dropped and almost hit my face. Oh my gosh.
22 masquerade around personifying an animal in character. Latonian loves her Native American heritages and the clans, including the turtle, the turkey, and the wolf, among others. She has spent a great deal growing up in an environment that fostered learning about her other races as a mixed-race descendant, including African American/Black, White American, and Asian American. Some of her heritage languages shared in the story called Changelings were American Spanish, English, and Lenape with a Nanticoke dialect included. Latonian mainly writes fiction. As a non-Christian writer, a Muslima, with the religion of Islam submission to God and Maya way see live in the way of certainty, Latonian was called to revise her writings and to clean them up. My storytelling and writing outlet have been my hobby since I was a child. I started as young as 8 writing poems, short stories, and then I matured and started writing adult content and things I would be interested in reading. Latonian. Native American writers who inspire her to write are Oscar Hockey, a citizen of the Cherokee Nation, Kiowa, and of Chihuahua Mexican descent, with his book, Calling for a Blanket Dance, and Ricardo Ignacio, a Mexican Native American, and his book titled Los.
When I finish this story, and if I publish it and all that, I hope the response will be like, oh my gosh, Miss Dunson. That's if I'm still single. I don't know. But Miss Dunson, you wrote this story while you were homeless, staying in hotels and trying to find places to stay. You were unhoused and you still had a job. Working at, at a location. I'm not going to disclose the location, but if you see my other videos, you probably figured it out without me having to say the company's name. Anyway, this is not to promote them, so, they're not paying me for any promotions. So I'm not going to say their name. But anyway, if you know the uniform, then you know what I'm talking about. But anyway, they're going to be like, you finished the story while you were in that type of situation. Like, yeah. I mean, sometimes we do what's easy for us if we feel like, we're just going through too much. So, while other people have therapy, I have this writing and, other things I have. But, going back to my modesty, there's no need for me to mention what other things that I do. Just know that I'm a lady and I keep some things private. Supposed to anyway. So, yeah, I'm writing. I'm at chapter 5 now. I finished chapters 1, 2, 3, 4. It took me quite a while to finish chapter 4. But now I'm on chapter 5. So I just have chapter 5, chapter 6, and chapter 7. 3 chapters to complete. And then the story will be done because it's like a short story type of thing. Other books can have anywhere between 10 chapters to 20 to 30. It really depends on the flow of the story. For me, I'm just going with 7 chapters. I figured if it's a short story, I could finish it. Because I write so many stories that I don't finish. Like Latonian finished something. So I gave myself 7 chapters. So, yeah. But yeah, let's go back to listening to what she says.
Native American writers who inspire her to write are Oscar Hockey, a citizen of the Cherokee Nation, Kiowa, and of Chihuahua Mexican descent with his book, Calling for a Blanket Dance. And Ricardo Ignacio, a Mexican Native American, and his book titled Los Indios. William J. Jackson and his steampunk gothic genre Pray Tale the Shada. Jackson is also a Nantico.
But okay.
Latonian Jasmine Dunson or Latonian Dunson's muse. Above is an image of Arden Salmons, or Arden Charles Salmons. Latonian recognizes that her indigenous people now come in many skin colors, and not just brown due to racial admixtures. 2. Arden Salmons was inadvertently a muse for the writing of Harry Hazel Eyes, Irvin Hoke. He's a muse, not the character Harry himself. He's the sole reason Latonian started writing Changelings, wolf hybrids on January 5, 2025 in Newark, Delaware. At that time Latonian had no idea who Arden was except the shared heritage and her attraction to his image. During that time, she used his image to channel ideas. She also didn't know his middle name was Charles until much later. The character Charles Biggs had nothing to do with the coincidence of names. The discovery came about as Latonian was drafting another story called The Black Orchid, upon which she was removed from Newark and relocated to Cheswold/Dover. The Black Orchid is a story she was writing after getting the news of cervical cancer and her first surgery to remove it on July 11, 2025. Thankfully, no cancer spread to her uterus. Post-Ramadan of 2026, Latonian revived the image of Arden for the purpose of revealing the diversity of Native American images. And she is free of cervical cancer and following up on her health. All praise is due to God. Allah or Quiddy Pitamawos in Lenape.
She said Quiddy Pitamawos. I mean, it's good to have your story read back to you, but if they don't know the language, they really butcher it. So they butcher Spanish and they butcher Lenape. It's supposed to be Quati Patamawos. She says Quiddy Patamawos, something like that. Quati Patamawos. Continue.
Latonian practiced Islam like she was supposed to. In the time she first saw Arden's image, she would have let any ideas of him go. After Ramadan, where fasting occurs to make atonement for past sins, Latonian let go of a lot of her past behaviors.
Yes.
Homeless, unhoused, or whatever situation she faces, she still is setting up her civil action complaints against individuals who caused her harm, e.g. changing her birth certificate color from pink to blue in 2017. Latonian has never presented herself as a male or a man. She has female facial hair. Her sins were sex outside of marriage. Period. It's not worth performing or repeating. Ramadan 2026 came and gone. Past sins.